Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm driving and the camera is in a very dangerous position right now. It could fall and I'm going to have to look at my directions every now and then. So hopefully we get home without getting into some kind of accident. But I felt inspired. I was thinking a lot and remembering a lot of different things that our acharyas have said, that Srila Gurudeva has said, meditating on life in general. And I don't know if I'll I don't know if I'll be able to remember all of it right now. I really hope so. But as much as possible, as far as possible, we'll try to offer whatever words I've heard from Srila Gurudeva and our acharyas back to them. Just wanted to speak a few things about the goal of life and our practice to attain that goal of life, the process to achieve the supreme goal of life. And Srila Gurudeva, he would say that the very first step in spiritual life is coming to the understanding and the realization that this world is miserable. This world is not a good place to be, this material world. We're thinking that everything's very nice, that we have very nice facilities here, and the world is very beautiful, and we can enjoy with our family members and our friends and be happy in this world. But Srila Gurudeva would say that only 2 people are happy in this world. One person is the devotee who is realized his relationship with Krishna and his soul and his eternal service and love for Krishna. This is how we can be happy. We can be detached from all these temporary material things and constantly be absorbed in remembering the very sweet pastimes and names and forms and qualities of Krishna himself and his associates. And then by that we can be happy. Even though we may be in this world, we know that our ultimate destination, our real home, is Godhead. And so we strive to achieve that destination. And all this material happiness and distress is completely insignificant, and we don't worry about any pain and suffering, and we have no fear of death, all of these things. Then we can be happy. And then Gurudev said that one other person is happy in this world. The person who has taken so much intoxication, so much wine, so much alcohol, and they are unconscious, lying down in the drain on the side of the street, and a dog is coming and washing his mouth out with its urine. But yet he is thinking that, oh, I am the monarch of all. I am the supreme. And my mouth is being washed with very warm water. And he is completely unaware, because he is so intoxicated, of his extremely fallen condition. And this is us. In this world, we are thinking that we are very happy, and there's one story of Indra that we hear, how somehow or other Indra had made some offense to his guru, or anyhow, he had been cursed to become a pig. Now Indra is the king of heaven, Swargaloka. We have this earthly planet, and then we have 7 upper planetary systems and 7 lower planetary systems. These are like the hellish planets, the hellish regions, and the 7 higher planetary systems are like the heavenly planets, where there is so much opulence and so much facility for sense gratification we cannot imagine. There are heavenly damsels and waterfalls of nectar, and you can live for millions and millions of years. And you can enjoy there by performing so many good deeds in this world. You can be promoted to a very, very, very high standard of living. And Indra, he is the king of that realm of the heavenly planets. So we can't imagine how much opulence and how much sense gratification he is enjoying. Unlimited heavenly damsels who he can enjoy with at his leisure. But anyhow, he came to this world and was cursed to be a pig, a hog. And he was living out his days eating stool and enjoying with his little pig wives and having so many little piglets. And one day, Lord Brahma, the creator of the whole universe, he noticed that Indra was in this extremely fallen and degraded position. And he came to Indra and said, "Oh, Indra, don't you see where you are and what you're doing? Please come to me, come with me, and I will take you back to Swarga, where you can enjoy drinking Soma Ras, which is heavenly nectar. You can become intoxicated and enjoy with so many heavenly damsels in your very opulent living conditions like you were before. Don't stay here. This is a horrible standard of living." And Indra said, What do you, is there stool in heaven that I am able to eat? Because I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied here right now. I have all of my little pig wives, my little pig children, and I can roll in the stool and the drain, and there's so much hot, warm stool here to eat, especially in India. And I'm very happy. I don't want to go to some other place. Lord Brahma said, "No, Indra, you don't understand. You're the king of heaven." And he wouldn't accept. So finally, Lord Brahma, he killed all of Indra's little pig wives Sorry. No, he killed all of Indra's little pig children and said, okay, now all of your children are gone, let's go to heaven. And Indra said, no, I will just enjoy with my pig wives, and again we will make so many children. This is not an obstacle for me. And Lord Brahma, finally, he killed all of his pig wives, and Indra was very upset. But finally, Lord Brahma, he sprinkled Indra with some purified holy water, and at once Indra assumed his form again as a demigod and came to his senses and realized what a terrible place and condition he was in, and said, okay, yes, let's go back to heaven. This is terrible. And so Srila Gurudeva would say that this is us. We are like Indra. We are not realizing that we are in a terrible, terrible place, filled with so much suffering and so much disgusting sorrow and pain and distress and anxiety and discomfort. There's danger at every step. Everyone is afraid. We could get shot at any moment. There could be some fire or some kind of... It's described that there's the threefold miseries of material existence is Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, and Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika are those sufferings that the living entities go through that are caused by one's own body and by one's own mind. So many people have so many mental disturbances. The mind is causing so many problems. We have so many things that we like and so many things that we dislike, and so many attachments and so many aversions. And the mind is causing us, has unlimited material desires that want to be fulfilled. And it is never ending. We have thought after thought after thought after thought, and it is unending. Constantly doubting, constantly thinking, constantly causing us so much problem, anxiety, so many things, depression. And then our own body, we have so many diseases that we are born with or that we acquire somehow. So many different kinds of pain and suffering in our bodies. And then Adi Bhautika are those, Adi Bhautika are those sufferings caused by other living entities, like insects and animals. We can get attacked by some animal at any moment, or we can get attacked by some kind of insect or bacteria. We may be attacked by a tiger or a bear, or so many other things, snakes. The list goes on and on and on. And then we have Adi Daivika, those miseries that are caused by the demigods, or natural disasters, it's described as. So much flood, maybe so much drought, so much heat, so much cold, so much rain, famine, hunger, and all of these things. We are struggling in this world with so many birth, death, old age, and disease. Even being born is causing so much suffering. We don't understand because we have no recollection of it. But to be inside of the womb is an extremely terrible condition, and it causes so much suffering to the baby. It's in a very, very, very confined space, and it has to breathe through some tube, and all these little insects are biting it. It's described, all these worms in the body, and all the other all the acid and all the other fluids in the mother's body is constantly causing so much pain to the embryo. This is all described in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, the teachings of Lord Kapila Dev. But anyhow, death is obviously very, very painful. We understand that in so many different ways. People are dying. And old age, Srila Gurudeva said that one day you will have to be old. You may be very beautiful now, you may look very young and have so much energy and can enjoy this world so well. But one day, all of your beauty will go away. All of your teeth will fall out. You won't be able to see anymore. You won't be able to walk without a stick. There will be so much pain throughout your body. You won't be able to hear anything. Srila Gurudeva said that you won't be able to digest even water. You'll have so many problems. This is not very favorable to being eternally happy. We may fall and break our leg and hurt ourselves. It's very difficult to heal after becoming old. And so many inconveniences. And disease. There's so much disease. So many different kinds of diseases and cancers and so many things. So anyhow, but yet we are thinking that I am very happy. I am very happy here with my wife and my girlfriend or my children and my job. But Srila Gurudeva said that, Srila Prabhupada, he said that God, he doesn't have a job. He's not spending all of his time working at a factory and then going home and clocking out and being angry about his coworkers and how he doesn't get paid enough money. No, there's only eternal joy and happiness in the spiritual world. He's only playing with all of his friends all day and night. And so the living entity, being a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, we also do not want to work, ultimately. We don't want to. Many people, they despise their job because this is not the nature of the soul. The nature of the soul is service, but it's selfless service. And service means also love. There's so many ways to serve. How are the friends of Krishna serving him? They're massaging him and they're joking with him and bringing him so much happiness in this way. And there's no problems there like there are here. Srila Gurudeva said that this world is not only full of problems, but it's made of problems. Every step of the way, this world, there are only so many problems, all day and night. And Prabhupada would say that when one goes home at the end of the day and he has solved so many problems, then he feels that his life is successful. And then the next day, there's just an unlimited more number of problems to solve. And it never ends. Gurudev said that a wave of problems comes, like a 10-foot wave, and crashes. And we have to deal with that day in and day out. And then the next day, he said an even bigger wave of problems comes. And even more problems are coming. So nobody can say that they want so many problems and they want all these things. We don't want any problems. We don't want any anxiety. We don't want any fear. If we have a child, or we have a beloved, or anyone that we care about in this world, we're always afraid for their safety and their well-being and all these things. Also for our own selves. But this is not the natural condition of the soul. And yet, we think that there's no urgency to spiritual life, to go into the spiritual world. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that we are, whatever state of consciousness that we are in, to that state we will attain at the time of death. And all of our activities, again, in this world are determining our where we go at the time of death. It's not a surprise. Whatever we have done in this life and in past lives, we have gotten this body that we have now because of our past activities. Many people, they don't believe in reincarnation, and they're thinking that, oh, this is our only life. We have come from nothing and we'll just go merge into nothing again. So eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. Right? But this is not the proper understanding. Srila Gurudeva, he would say that why are some people born blind and other people, they're born in a very nice, they're born as the son of a king, or they're born as the son of the president of America, he would say, or the king of England, or anything like that. People are born into very, 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 very wealthy homes, and they're born very beautiful, and they're born with, in such a high lineage, and having so much opportunity for nice education, and everything comes very seemingly easy to them. They have such a nice situation in this world. And then Gurudev would say, then why are some people, they're born in a very, very, very poor family, and very, very ugly, with teeth coming out like this, and maybe they're born blind, or without a leg, or some kind of heart condition. The list goes on and on and on and on. How is this fair? It seems to be unfair that these two people are being given completely different situations in life. But this is because of whatever past activities that we've performed. We must get the reaction to that activity. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And so that is called karma. Whatever activities one performs, they are either getting some good result or they're getting some bad result. And there's so many activities that are described in the Vedic scriptures that if one performs those, it's called adharma and dharma. Dharma is called religion, which is another word for prescribed duties. We are in this world, and every living entity has some function, some prescribed like job or some occupation. And according to whatever our nature, whatever our tendency is, Krishna describes in the Bhagavad Gita that he has divided this whole world up into 4 divisions, 4 castes, and 4 ashrams, like stages of life. And so there's the laborer class, the business class, the warrior class, and the intellectual class. The Shudras, the Vaishyas, the Kshatriyas, and the Brahmanas. And the Brahmanas are like the priests and the intellectual teachers and educators like this. The administrative class are like the fighters and the managers, like the government, presidents and governors and all these things. And other kind of high level, like the military and things like this. They protect the people, the innocent, from demons and all these different things, like the police. Then there's the business class, the business owners, the farmers, the people who herd cows and animals and all these other things. And then the laborers, the Sudras, who just work for the other 3. In Kali Yuga, it's described that we're all basically laborers, we're all Sudras. And in the scriptures, there's different divisions of duties that are prescribed for each class, that gradually, by following these prescriptions, we can gradually advance through many lifetimes up the ladder till we can come to the stage of full God realization and go back to the spiritual world. Like we come to this world, Durga means prison. We've talked about this before. We are in this prison of this material world because we have done something wrong. And when you're in prison, it's called a correctional facility. We have to be corrected. We have to be punished. We have to serve our sentence. So we have to act according to the strict laws of the prison wardens. And under their direction, we have to serve in whatever capacity. So we have to do whatever we have to do in this material world until we can come to the point where we are eligible to be freed from the binding chains of this material existence. So I've lost my train of thought, but we follow religion and we get the reactions to our activities. So we should try to do good deeds in this world. It's described in the Vedas that giving in charity, digging wells, performing fire sacrifices, worshiping God, so many other very pious activities, these get you a good result and make you eligible to attain a higher position in life. Just like you go to school and you study very hard, now you are eligible to make more money, and you do different things and you gradually get promoted and promoted. It's called being promoted to the heavenly planets. So we can work very, very hard. We can do so many austerities, so many very difficult things, and we can become eligible to upgrade our position in life. Or we can do very sinful things and we can become degraded and get sent to the hellish planets. Like if we steal someone else's property, if we kill somebody, especially brahmanas and other humans and other animals and cows especially. Like the Vedas, they do not allow animal slaughter, especially cow slaughter, but any animal. So we can't just do whatever we want in this world and not have any reactions to that. Right? We will have to be punished if we are acting improperly. And so there's so many different types of sinful activity that we won't go into at the moment. But we all understand mostly what sinful activity is. Basically, anything that is against God's desire and against God's will. This is against Dharma, against religion, which is really love. And if we are causing anyone any anxiety and all these things, this is also against Dharma. And we are not performing our prescribed function according to God's desire. We're not playing our role in society. So this is why different people, they are born in different circumstances with so many different facilities like this. But even if we go to the heavenly planets, we will have to come back down to this earth planet because we exhaust our pious credits. It's like you save up and you save up and you save up, and then you take a vacation for like a week to the Bahamas or something, or some very nice place. You cannot stay there forever until you have to go back to work and suffer more. You spend all of your money and now you're out of money and you have to save up more money to enjoy a week of having no responsibility and just taking intoxication and so many things. And then if you do so many terrible things, like you steal from people or you murder people and steal their money and like this to try and enjoy and take so many drugs. Similarly, there's so many bad reactions to that. You'll get put in jail and you're killing animals to eat them. Srila Gurudeva, he would say that what does the word meat mean? Even in all different cultures, Gurudeva would say that this is how it is. The word, even in all different languages, the word meat means me eat me, right? So whatever I eat will eat me. If we are eating and killing animals, then according to the scriptures, that animal will come and eat us in our next life. It will have to take revenge for this. We will have to taste however we have made an impression in this world. If we cause so much pain and suffering in this world to others, we will have to feel that pain and suffering for ourselves. And nobody is free from this very strict law. So this is something to consider. But we want to become free of this endless cycle. We want to go to the spiritual world, which Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one who attains my spiritual abode, he will never again have to come back down to this material world. And this is Krishna's special mercy and his blessing. But the very first step of spiritual life, Srila Gosvami Maharaja, a great devotee in our line whose disappearance day is today, he said that first we have to realize that this world is a burning forest fire. We are trapped in a burning forest fire from all sides, and there is no escape. There's one story in the Srimad-Bhagavatam that illustrates this. And there are many such stories. There's another story about the man in the well. So I will try now. I have maybe 10 minutes. There's a story of a deer who is very, very peacefully and very, very happily and very gently and gracefully taking some grass on the bank of a river. And that river is flowing very strongly. And if it were to go in the river, it would get carried away in the very strong rapids, and it might hit a rock and it may die. But anyhow, that will come later, the importance of that. But basically, it is sitting there taking grass, and all of a sudden there is a fire that is ignited on one side of the deer, and it's a very great, dangerous fire, and it is burning so much. It just at once manifested. And on another side of the deer, there was all these dogs that came, very, very ferocious, very, very vicious dogs that appeared, that were coming to kill that the deer. And on the other side of the deer, there was a hunter that had a bow and arrow, and it was ready to kill the deer at once. And so now we can see that this deer is surrounded on all sides by danger. It cannot go towards the river because it will die if it jumps in the river. It cannot go towards the dogs because the dogs will attack it and eat it. It cannot go into the fire because it will get burned. And it cannot go towards the hunter because it will kill it. And now the deer is thinking, what am I going to do? This is crazy. There's no way to escape this. I'm completely surrounded. How can I get out of this? How can I survive? It seems that death is almost certain. And it finally just gives up and surrenders completely and says, "Oh Krishna, oh God, please help me. I fully surrender unto you. There's no way for me to escape this position. Please help me." And like a miracle, this is all described in the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Gurudeva says that a very strong storm at once came, and so many dark clouds with very heavy rain came, and it extinguished the fire. And it was so windy that all this wind, it kicked up so much dust, and it blinded the hunter. And when the hunter was about to shoot his bow, about to shoot his arrow, he misfired and he shot the dogs instead. And at once, now that they were all distracted, the deer went through where the fire was, had been extinguished, and was able to escape. So this is our position in this world. We are in a very precarious, very dangerous position. And on all sides, we're surrounded by danger. There's no other recourse but for us to call out to the Lord, call out to Krishna, and pray for His mercy that He can pick us up from this ocean of material existence. And it's said that we are drowning in the ocean of material existence. And if you're in the middle of the ocean, there's no land, there's no way to be saved from that. For miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, there's nothing but suffering. Okay? And so, only if a helicopter comes and picks us up out of that can we be saved. So we pray to Krishna for that mercy, that we can wake up and begin to pray for His mercy and the inspiration and intelligence to come back to Him and come towards Him. And all we need to do is pray for that. And that at the time of death, we can be fully absorbed in and have no more material desires, and then we won't have to come back to this world, because Krishna, He won't take us there unless that's the only thing that we want. If we have any material desires, we are not qualified to gain entrance into the spiritual world. So the other story is about one man who was going through the forest, and he heard a very ferocious tiger roaring. And he was looking anywhere for how he can save himself, and he saw this old dry well that was empty now, but he climbed down into that dry well, and there was some roots from a tree nearby that he held onto that was inside of the well that would prevent him from going down fully into the well. So the tiger had come there, he had gone into the well, and now that tiger was circling around the top of the well. So he could not come out. But on the bottom of the well, there was all these very dangerous, very ferocious serpents, and they were all biting at this person. So he couldn't go down into there either. And at the same time, on the branches, on the roots that he was holding on to, were these two rats. There was one white rat and one black rat. and they were gnawing away at the branches he was holding on to. And if they were to completely chew away at the branches, then he would fall into the very dangerous pit of serpents below him. So like this, the same way, he's completely surrounded by danger. And in the Bhagavatam, this history is described. It's said that that tiger represents death. And that death is always waiting for us at any moment. And the snakes, they represent all of our problems in this world that we have, constantly biting us. And those two rats that are chewing away at the roots, they are day and night. They are time. And eventually we will have to die. Like this. Haribo, Radhe Radhe. So I'm going to finish this up in the temple really quick. But I was saying that there's a beehive that is above the dry well, and the person that is holding on to the branches, he's sitting there right under the beehive, and every now and then the beehive is dropping little drops of honey. Little drops of honey every now and then, and he is opening his mouth and catching those drops on his tongue. And he thinks, oh, how sweet, how nice this taste is. And he seems to completely forget about the fact that below him are serpents and above him is a tiger, and these rats are chewing away at these branches, and that he is actually in a very terrible situation. And the Bhagavatam describes that this is us. This is our situation. And that honey is described to be like the love and affection of this world and our worldly relationships with our wives and our children's and our lovers and our friends, like this. Srila Gurudeva would say that when we come home and our children, they jump up on our lap and they say, Papa, Papa, and they embrace us. And our wife comes and embraces us, and she has dinner ready, or whatever it may be. And we're met with so much love and affection by all of our family members. Right? This is, we forget everything. All of our problems, all of the day's work, and all of our struggles and everything. And we think, I'm happy. This is like nectar. I'm tasting nectar. But this is like the very, 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 very tiny amount of happiness amidst an unlimited ocean of suffering. And so we want unlimited happiness, we want unlimited nectar, and we don't want that to end. All of this material happiness is so temporary and so flickering, and it is mixed with so much suffering. Srila Prabhupada says that the happiness of this world is like sweet rice mixed with sand. That there is some happiness here, material happiness, this love and affection between our family members, which is very difficult to give up. We become so attached to our family, to our children, to our significant others. But they will die one day. You will die one day. And then you will have to take birth again in a womb, which is a very terrible experience. And then you will have to undergo again so much endless suffering in so many different forms of life to fulfill and receive the reactions of all of your past activities in this world. So we should try to perform those activities that can ultimately liberate us and get us out of the jail forever. And that is God consciousness. That is Krishna consciousness. And if we have that desire to go to the spiritual world, Krishna will fulfill that. And Srila Gurudeva would say that all the doctors in this world, all the scientists, and everyone, nobody can prevent you from death. Nobody can prevent death. Nobody can stop you from dying. You must die one day. There are so many demons in the scriptures who want to become immortal. They wanted this body, this material body, to be immortal. And we see that in our society also. Some people, they want to live forever. They don't want this body to die. They are attached to their egos and their bodies. But everyone must die. Everyone. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, for one who has taken birth, death is certain. And for one who has died, birth is certain. Because the soul is eternal. So there is no death for the soul. God is eternal. The soul is eternal. It will simply, just like you take off clothes and put clothes on again, you will leave this body and go into another body. Just like if you're the driver of a car, you wreck your car and your car is completely destroyed, but the driver is okay. So you just get a new car and you start driving again. So once this body is destroyed and done with, then you get a new body, you get new clothes, and you keep going. And it doesn't end. So what body do you want to be in? What do you want your next destination to be? What kind of body do you want? That is our choice. We want a spiritual body that is not subject to death and birth as an endless cycle of sorrow and suffering. And nobody can save you from that. No matter how hard you try, you cannot even get back one moment. You cannot even push death off for one moment, Gurudeva would say. You cannot save yourself from that. If it is your time, then you must leave this body. And there's one last thing Gurudeva would say. I can't remember at the moment. He said that we cannot even say for certain that God exists. He said this a couple of times. We cannot say for certain whether God exists or not. But what we can say for certain is that death is certain. And he said another time, there are two things that are certain in this world. We cannot say that God is real. We cannot see him. We cannot say for certain that God exists. Gurudeva is saying this as an example, of course. But we know that no one can argue the facts. People can say, oh, God exists, God doesn't exist. There's maybe some argument there. But no one can argue the fact that death is certain. And the other truth, Gurudeva would say, is that nobody in this world is happy. These are the two things that we can say for certain, Srila Gurudeva would say. Death is certain, and nobody in this world is happy. And we see that nobody is satisfied. Everybody wants something. They are dissatisfied. There's some dissatisfaction going on. And so we try to find satisfaction in this world, but we are constantly left being dissatisfied. So how can we be fully satisfied? We have to go to the source of all satisfaction and engage in the service of Sri Sri Radhakrishna and their associates by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga. And there was one more thing I was going to say. We get into relationships in this world, but there is always so much fear there again. Many people, they think, oh, what if I could find somebody better? What if I find somebody more attractive? What if I find somebody who loves me even more? What if I find somebody who I like more, who I like their personality more, or this or that, or so many things? And of course, after some time, you start to dislike maybe somebody that you're with, and it starts to get old, and you want some kind of new, fresh experience, and so you leave that person. So everyone's afraid that whoever they're with is not going to love them forever and not going to accept them, and that they're looking maybe elsewhere, they're putting their love elsewhere, and that they can fall in love with somebody else and give them up, and then where is the love then? Srila Gurudeva, he would say that we can live in this world without food for maybe four weeks or something like this. And that we can live without water for maybe a week or something like this. This is easy. We can do this. And that we can live even without air for however many minutes. We can hold our breath and we can live without breathing. But Srila Gurudeva said that we cannot live even a moment without love. So, everyone again is looking for this love. And God is love, and love is God. It is that simple. And we are looking for it so desperately. We are looking for somebody to love. We are looking for something to love, anything to love. That is the Gurudev said in Costa Rica somewhere in 1997, that the nature of the soul is love. We are made of love, the soul, because we're a part of Krishna, and Krishna is love, and love is Krishna. So we can't do anything but love. Right now it's perverted because we are thinking that we are the object of love and we are the enjoyer, and that we should enjoy our senses. But if we can, Gurudev said, take all of your love and offer it to the supreme object of love. Because if we love Krishna, now there's no more fear that we will find somebody more beautiful, that we will find somebody more attractive, that we will find somebody who is more sweet and who can care about us and love us more than somebody else, or someone who is more rich, or someone who is more charismatic, or whatever it may be. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he is second to none. So if we repose all of our love in Krishna, there's no fear that there can be anyone better than this, and there's no more doubt. And also Krishna, he'll never give us up, because he has the capacity and the ability to and fully love us. And he created us, so he loves us more than anybody. We are his eternal servants, his eternal beloveds. So Gurudeva would say we should try to have some kind of relation with Krishna. That, oh, he is my beloved, or he is my friend, or he is my very dear son. So these are just some thoughts and reflections on the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudeva. There's so much more to say about all these things, but I will end it here. Thank you so much if you got to the end of this, or not. Radhe, Radhe, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.